Alright, back again, and today what I wanted to show you is how to do a light mod on your Neo-Geo AES home cart system. And some of the things that you're going to need for this is you're going to need a soldering pen, you're going to need a pair of clippers for like steel wire clippers, you need some solder, a small screwdriver, some flux paste or soldering paste. You'll need an LED, a light of your choice as far as color goes. This one happens to be blue. And you'll also need a pair of needle nose pliers, Phillips screwdriver, a Dremel tool of some kind. So this can be either a handheld battery operated Dremel tool, or you can get one that runs off an outlet, and a hot glue gun here. Some of these things you might not use, but it's always good to over prepare for this stuff. Also, what you're going to need is you're going to need some wire, some somewhat medium gauge wire. You're not going to need anything like super huge, like 0 gauge, or anything like just super thick. Just normal wire. Probably best to have it in 2 colors, so you can tell which one is your positive, which one's your negative. And about 13 inches long is what you're going to want these things at. So, let's get this thing going here. With your average Neo-Geo AES system for home, when you turn on the power here, you don't see any light. In fact, there is a light. It's located in the back, and it's really hard to see. It's a very small red lamp. And it does come on when you turn the power on, but there's no real indicator to show you that it's on. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this light, our LED, we're going to put it in the reset button here, and we're going to give it not only a way of telling that the machine is on, but we're also going to give it a little character too. So just to show you, right now, if you turn on Monster, you gotta love the intro. So yeah, you can see, our Neo Geo is working fine. We got the game coming up, but we got nothing here, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to take this thing apart here, and I'm going to try and show you how to do this thing. First things first, what you want to make sure you do is disconnect the power. It's always the obvious things that are the most difficult and that people forget. So disconnect the power, and once you got the power cord disconnected, if you have a game in it, take out the game. Unplug your controller up front, and unplug your AV cable in the back. Alright, now that we got all our cables disconnected, what you're going to notice is on the bottom of the AES system here, I'll flip it over here in just a sec, there are some pads that are actually on the bottom here to keep it, from scratching the table or on the ground or whatever. And there's a screw up here, Phillips screw up here. There's one here, 2 in the back, and 1 up here in the. If you were looking at it from the front, if you just flip it over like this, there's one on the left corner here. And the right one is there's nothing underneath it, so you don't have to scrape anything away. In order to get these pads off, they're usually held on by double-sided tape, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. Probably been sitting for years. If you want to reuse these ones, what I recommend is getting a really small screwdriver and then prying that up underneath it and kind of working your way around. You might be able to use a regular knife as well, like a hobby knife, and do it the same. This is an old Neo Geo, and this is one that I just picked up. It's in some pretty rough shape, but I'm going to try my best to clean it up. Just wanted to give it a little character as well. But once you get all those screws removed, your top part's going to pop off really easy. I mean, this thing just slides right off. And once you get that off, you'll notice on the board here, if you look all the way in the back, up here in the corner, you can see, oh look, there's your light, and it's really small. With this light here, because it's so small, it's really, it's almost pointless in a way to have it, because there's no real way to tell that the board is on or if it's off. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this light out here, and we're going to solder in our new one. What we're going to do here for our switch is with all these buttons, you can just pop them off. It's the same with the controller as well. So, pop off your button. And I've already done this, so try and save on some time. You're going to take your button over, and on the bottom you're going to notice there's going to be some like 4 plastic I guess prongs holding the middle tab in. What you're going to do is use your Dremel tool, and you're going to cut a hole around in the middle, kind of like the shape of your light. As you can see, it kind of has a hole there. You can see all the way through. And with your LED light, you want to make sure that you have enough space. You're going to take your LED light, and once you get that all taken care of, you're going to put your LED in like so. So as you can see, the LED is fitting in just like that. And the hot glue gun, which is what I recommended having before, hot glue gun, you can use this to secure this in place. Because today we're not going to have a lot of time, I'm going to skip that part, and we're just going to move on. With this light here, you're going to notice that it has two ends on it. It's going to have a longer end and a shorter end. The longer end is going to be the anode part, and that's going to be your positive. So always remember that the longer part's the positive, the shorter one's the negative. And when you solder this on, if you look at your board and you look at the light really carefully, you can see on the inside here there's going to be a really small tab, and then there's going to be a thicker tab on the inside of this light. The thicker tab is going to be your negative, and the smaller tab is going to be your positive. So you can always remember that as well. Let's get this thing going here. We're going to clip this light out, and we're going to try and solder in our wires, and then once that's done, we'll get our light all put in and it should be all set. So we got our clippers here. I'm going to kind of move this away here so I can clip away at it. And just remember, if you want to make a mark on the board or something like that to show which one is negative, you can use a marker or something like that. I'm just going to make a small little scrape so I know which one is the positive, which one is the negative. And anode. Alright. I just got a small scrape there. And then you're going to want to snip out your light here. It's nothing too difficult. And hopefully I'm going to have enough time to do this. This is crazy. Okay, once you got your light snipped out, there you go. So there's your space here. We're going to take our two wires, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tin the edges. And those of you who don't know what tinning means, you just want to add a little bit of solder to the end of these. You can use your flux paste to make this solder stick really well on it, and yeah, just tin them just a little bit. Then we're going to come down here and try and solder this bad boy up. 8 minutes, jeez, this is going to be rough. Alright, so we're going to take our contact points here. Hopefully we'll get these things soldered right on there. I like to try and keep them away from each other. That way, you know, you can bend them around here. I put them in different locations. That way they don't ever come into contact with each other. But you can do it whatever way you want. Just make sure that they don't touch each other. Because if they do, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Alright. That one's all soldered in. Whew, 8 minutes, 34 seconds. Alright. And on our light here, we're going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do though, same as before, is, if I can find my clippers here, I'm going to clip these wires, try and make them a little bit shorter. Alright. And once again, you don't want these things to be touching, so. Wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Alright, just for demonstration purposes, maybe I can show you. Maybe not. Alright, 138. We're just going to pop this bad boy back on, see if we can get it working. Alright, we're running out of time here, but just wanted to show you how this thing works. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.